Hey everyone, this is Tony from MediaLoot and thank you for watching this video in which we intend to give you an insight into the process behind actually making one of our premium resources on MediaLoot. So let's get started. This particular resource is called Illuminate, and it's a set of web elements, or it's a UI kit as we're calling it here. And I'm sure if you use design resources regularly, you'll know what kind of thing it entails, but if you're not familiar with UI kits, then it's basically a collection of pre-designed elements for web or user interface design, such as buttons, form fields, sliders, menus, etc. And these help designers to speed up and optimize the process of creating their own layouts and basically to use in designers' own creations. And the other file I've got open here is Insignia, which is a collection of simple reusable vector icons, and that's another one of our premium resources. It's one of our latest ones, in fact, so if you haven't seen that yet, then definitely check it out at MediaLoot.com/insignia. Most of our UI kits that we provide are created in Photoshop. The reason behind this is obvious, really. It's the industry standard, so it makes sense, and it definitely holds the majority of our end users. So yeah, we've got to think about the majority of users and what they're going to need. If you do prefer to use Fireworks for your web design, as I do, then usually you can just open up the PSD, and more often than not it's exactly the same as it would look in Photoshop. Sometimes it just needs a few little tweaks to fix a few things that haven't quite translated very well. As you can see, as we go along here, I'm trying to keep on top of organising the document, putting layers in the right order, grouping elements together and giving them names, etc. Obviously that makes the document a lot more useful than one just full of random, layers called layer 43 or, shape 65. And at the end of the process, when the kit is finished, as well, I'll go through all these and we tidy things up before releasing it to the members and make sure it's really easy to use and organised. Hopefully the other thing you'll have noticed is that we aren't using any bitmap graphics here. Absolutely everything is made completely with vector shape layers and layer styles. So that means that when designers get their hands on our resources and use them in their own projects, it's really easy for them to tweak them and make them fit in with their existing work. Nothing is flattened. Nothing should need to be redrawn either. When I come up with ideas for resources, I tend to start from a very basic idea and build upon that. I really enjoy seeing an idea evolve over time as you're working on it. So actually capturing the process like this is a really interesting treat for me. I usually begin with something very simple. For example, with UI kits like this one, that would probably be a button or a menu bar, and then I work outwards from that point, creating like the scroll bars that would look great with this, and the perfect hover over state for that button, etc. It's really good fun actually, and you really get into it, and it's even better always knowing as well that these elements will have more than one life, as other designers download them, open them up in Photoshop, develop them, using their own style and their own influences, and use them in their own projects or in client projects. When you're working with user interface elements, I think the most important tip I would offer is just pay attention to the pixels, because it's such a simple thing, but it can really ruin an otherwise pretty little interface element. especially when it has half pixels and blurry edges. So turn on snap to pixel grid when you create new shapes. I think it is important how our resources are displayed, so I like to spend a little bit of time on some nice textures and lighting and things like that, as long as it doesn't draw attention away from the actual elements themselves. So thanks again for watching this video. We hope you've learnt a little about how we actually make our resources, and don't forget that the end product is available to download on MediaLoot.com. You should also find a direct link to the item in the description for this video. Thanks.